Welcome. It's Corey Trott here from the Learning Resources Department, and I'm making this video before school has started, and it's intended to help you with the identification or the IEP engine. All of you have a list or will have a list of the identified students in your class, and it's your job and your responsibility to sign off on your understanding of that IEP. So I put together this video, even though it uses information from my past school, to help you navigate all the steps for this process. Now, for those of you who are auditory, you can just listen while I do this. For those of you who are visual, you can watch. And those of you who are kinesthetic, you can watch me do it, pause a step, do it yourself. However you learn, I'm hoping this version will help you get there. First thing we need to do is we need to go to myhdsb.ca. That's the board website. When we get here, we're going to navigate to the bottom. We're going to find this here. So board website, myhdsb, and then the IEP button right here at the bottom. We click that. And I'm on a Windows 8 computer. Now, earlier this year, the board did not support Windows 8, but it does now. So we're here at the actual engine itself. Now, before we get in, I want to caution you on one thing. All of you have access to the IEP engine, but you also have editing rights because you have access. There's no way to give you access without editing rights. So some of the things I'm going to show you are to ensure you don't change an IEP. With that confidence, we log in here like we log in at any computer, and that gets us in to the engine. This is the IEP engine here, and we're going to not worry about too many buttons, but right up here, IEP Retrieve. We're going to go to IEP Retrieve, so I'll click out. You see this phase, you should see your name over here, and IEP Retrieve. Now once we do that, we're going to get the three bars. We're going to get the IEP, the action bar, and the search bar. If you don't see the action bar or the search bar, just hit these arrows. Now this bar up here, IEP, this is for those who edit. You don't want to mess with that. Under here, under search, we're going to put in a name. I'm going to put in the name of a boy I taught, O-R-L-Y. And did we get them or didn't we? For those of you who are worried that it didn't work, gotta scroll down. It's down here. So I know this isn't our school, and I know this isn't our school year. This is critical things that you're going to change once school begins. We have to have 1 day of school before you can check. So if I go in here and I go Fraser and I hit it, now we get a little faster result because we scroll down and that bar is showing. However, if you're really struggling, the most effective way to find a student is to put their student number in. Once you have that student number, you're not going to find Smith, or if we have 3 Johnsons or whatever the last name is, you're going to get the Morley or the Fraser or whoever you're looking for. And there he is. I come down here and I click on his name. Once I do that, I'm going to get a few more things in my bar on the left here, but there it is. I click on his name, and again, you're not going to go in here and do anything with this area. This is where search to go. You want to go right here, display. Now there are about 5 areas that you're going to want to know about, and that means that you don't have to worry about all the other areas on here. Certainly you can read it and familiarize yourself, but as a classroom teacher, you want to hit display, and then you want to look first of all here in this area. The reason you're looking here is you're looking for any type of multiple identity. If this says communications learning disability, in that case that means they're having trouble processing. There's some element that will be explained here in this area, the summary of results. However, Very few things are put on the IEP that would offend the student if it was sent home. So if there are some elements that would be quite upsetting to a student, we don't put those on the IEP so that when it goes home, when it is shared with their parents, it's not something that will get them very upset. So we don't always put that information here. Let's go to the critical areas. Area 1 here. Area 2, strengths and needs. Strengths and needs, I encourage you to write at least 3 of them down. If there's 4 here on each side for this boy, so 4 it is that you'll write in your little slot. And these are really important because sometimes things like verbal memory skills, that's a hard one to understand, but just as an example, it means that if the last thing you do before the bell rings and, well, we don't have bells, the last thing you do before you head out the door is say, and remember, on Monday we have a quiz, this particular young man is going to struggle with that verbal command. That's really important that you know that. Next, accommodations. Now, these are the ones that have the most force and impact on your assessment and evaluation. On this one, this side, it's instructional. Number 1, they're all alphabetical, so you can work down your tick list there. Access to a computer, adapt the format, allow time for copying, allow 1 task at a time, divide a test into smaller parts. This particular element of chunking is really important. The question is, why is it on the instructional side? It's over here so that if there's any informal assessments, if there's anything we're doing self-diagnostically, that it's broken into smaller parts. You'll usually see it over here as well. Access to a computer. Now, assessment, these are what we do when we're actually evaluating for grades. It's also, most of these are eligible over in this section on the EQAO and literacy test and so forth. Finally, the one in the middle here is the proximity to instructor. And the proximity to instructor is not something students always follow, but again, as an example, you need to know that if they have trouble hearing or seeing or attending, that you were asked to give them a proximity to you. So now we've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas that are really critical for you, and then you're going to notice on the bottom of your form that there's a little area for your comment. Now, when we're looking for comments, what we're really thinking about is, are these working? Are they enough? Are you, when you're implementing the IEP, are you feeling that they're using the things that they have, or is there things here that aren't working at all? Somebody who's refusing assistive software technology, so forth, doesn't mean that we should eliminate it from the IEP. But more importantly, we should be reviewing with the student the importance of this if they're having trouble with the written as you're giving it to them. So that covers most of it. Now, as we scroll down, there's not a lot down here that we're going to ask you to know about. Their transition plan, if you wanted to spend any time, we're lucky that this particular boy, as an example, right in this area, knows what he wants to do when he's graduating. He has an absolutely clear pathway, and then we make sure as certs that this area that we have hit all the things that they need. As a classroom teacher, I draw your attention up to the identification, especially if they have more than one, or if they have a behavior identification, you want to know about that. Areas of strength and need, because that'll help you in your building of relationships with the student, and then the accommodations that they get in instruction, in the environment, and for assessment. Once you're done, if you go up top and you click and get rid of this particular one, you're back to the engine. So I didn't click out right hand corner, I just got rid of the tab. If I go down here and I put in, I'm going to put in a name this time, but won't take you through it. I remind you, I search for name, it goes away, comes back, and there it is at the bottom, so you don't have to panic. If you're having a hard time, check the year, check the school has been selected, and then if you're still struggling, put the student number in that you should find there at the top. We click the name, and then we do what? I'll give you a chance to think that one through. Yell out an answer at me. That's right. We hit display, and it comes up in a new tab up here, and then we go through that student's identification, areas of strength and need, and what we need to do for their instruction and so forth. If you have any questions about the students you're dealing with, please come down and see us. If you have any questions about students that aren't on your list or are coming to us in grade 9 and they are at risk, please come and see us. And there are a couple of students who I will be seeing you personally about, because we already know that there are some triggers that we want to avoid, and hopefully we can get you off to a successful start to the semester. Come on down to Learning Resources if you have or need anything, and hopefully this video gives you a good start on getting your IEPs read and signed off, and good luck in the semester.